Pokemon, also known as Pocket Monsters, is a Japanese media franchise managed by the Pokemon Company. The franchise was created by Satoshi Tajiri in 1995 and is centered on fictional creatures called Pokemon, which humans, known as Pokemon trainers, catch and train to battle each other for sport. In this video, we're gonna take a look at 5 times Pokemon shocked the world. Number 1. Lavender Town Syndrome. The Lavender Town Syndrome, also known as Lavender Town Tone or Lavender Town Suicides, was a peak in suicides and illness of children between the ages of 7 to 12, shortly after the release of Pokemon Red and Green in Japan back in February 27, 1996.
ポケットモンスター。赤を買うか緑を買うかちょっと違うよ。
Rumors say that these suicides and illness only occurred after the children playing the game reached Lavender Town, whose theme music had extremely high frequencies that studies showed that only children and young teens can hear since their ears are more sensitive. Due to the Lavender Town tone, at least 200 children supposedly committed suicide, and many more developed illnesses and afflictions. The children who committed suicide usually did so by hanging or jumping from heights. Others acted irrationally, complaining of severe headaches after listening to Lavender Town's theme. Although Lavender Town now sounds differently depending on the game, this mass hysteria was caused by the first Pokemon game released. After the Lavender Town tone incident, the programmers had fixed Lavender Town's theme music to be at a lower frequency, and since then, children were no longer affected by it. One video appeared in 2010 using special software to analyze the audio of Lavender Town's music. When played, the software created images of the unknown near the end of the audio. This raised controversy since the unknown didn't appear until the Generation 2 games, Silver, Gold, and Crystal. The unknown translate to leave now. Number 2. Banned Pokemon episodes that gave children seizures. On December 16, 1997, an episode of the then unstoppable Pokemon animated series was broadcast in Japan. Barely 30 minutes later, nearly 700 children were on their way to the hospital. The episode, called Electric Soldier Porygon, is now part of Pokemon folklore.
An investigation is underway in Japan into why more than 600 children suffered from convulsions and vomiting after watching a television cartoon program.
Centering around the adventures of Ash and his friends as they travel inside a Pokeball transmitter machine. The machine is broken, so they embark on a cyberspace adventure to fix it. What caused all the problems were the animation techniques employed in the episode. There comes a point around 20 minutes into the show when Pikachu uses his lightning attack to blow up some missiles. Because these are virtual missiles, and Pikachu is currently residing inside Pokemon's version of cyberspace, a regular explosion just wouldn't look right. So the animators used a rapid strobing technique that flashed red and blue lights on the screen to make the explosion look virtual. And that's when all hell broke loose. Straight away, children all across Japan were struck down with various ailments. Some kids passed out or experienced blurred vision. Others felt dizzy or nauseous. In extreme cases, some even experienced seizures and cases of temporary blindness. While the exact number of children affected by the show will likely never be known, in total 685 kids, that's 375 girls and 310 boys, were put in ambulances suffering some kind of medical problem after watching the episode. While most made speedy recovery, some within minutes after the show's conclusion, a small number were diagnosed with epilepsy, which had been triggered by the rapidly blinking display. The incident, which became known in Japan as Pokemon Shock, was a disaster for children's animation in Japan. And as a result of Pokemon Shock, Electric Soldier Porygon has never been broadcast again in any region, even in edited form. And despite having nothing to do with the incident, the Pokemon most closely associated with the show, Porygon, was never shown in the series again. So what caused Pokemon Shock? Ultimately, it was found to be a combination of the effects of strobe lighting combined with the sheer popularity of the program. It's estimated that around 1 in 4,000 people are sensitive to photosensitive seizures and other health issues when viewing strobe lighting. That may sound minor, but when you consider over 4 million kids were watching that particular episode, it's easy to see why so many were struck down. If you'd like to see the sequence in question, you can view it in this clip, but be warned, you obviously do so at your own risk. Number 3. Pokemon Erase Misty and Brock. Pokemon the Movie I Choose You is a 2017 Japanese animated adventure film based on Tatoshi Tajiri's Pokemon media franchise. It's the 20th film in the Pokemon universe and the first film in the alternate timeline series. It's basically a retelling of Ash's earliest adventures with Pikachu. But while the movie faithfully depicts several key moments from the earlier anime series, it does deviate in several major ways. When promotional artwork for the movie was released, fans noticed that Misty and Brock had seemingly been replaced by 2 new characters named Soji and Makato. Fans feared that these characters were replacements for Brock and Misty in the new movie, and it appears that they were right. Ash does spend most of the movie traveling alongside Soji and Makato, all while earning gym badges, capturing Pokemon, and searching for the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh. Makato even takes Misty's place in one of the most iconic scenes of the original anime, when Ash and Pikachu fight off a flock of angry Spearow shortly after leaving Viridian City. Gyarados' role in the movie is also limited to a split-second cameo, and no reference is made to their epic lifelong rivalry. It's not exactly clear why the movie producers chose to replace Brock and Misty with all new characters. While the cynical answer is merchandising, both Makato and Soji have partner Pokemon that are a lot more popular than any of Brock or Misty's Pokemon. However, Misty and Brock aren't entirely absent from the movie. They, along with all of Ash's other companions, appear in the closing credits of the film. Number 4. Pikachu speaks English for the first time. Pokemon the Movie I Choose You is nostalgic for anyone who grew up with the original 90s cartoon series. It was released in Japan in July 2017 and shortly after received a limited theatrical release in the US. There was, however, one scene with Ash and Pikachu that had fans of the original series pretty outraged. Towards the end of the film, Ash saves Pikachu from an attack. The two are curled up with Ash holding Pikachu, and Ash asks Pikachu,
Pikachu, why won't you get in your Pokeball?
A pretty reasonable question that almost certainly would be responded with, oh no. To everyone's surprise, Pikachu responds,
It's because I always want to be with you.
That's right, Pikachu actually spoke English. Now, as we all know, Pikachu never speaks in any of the Pokemon shows, movies, or video games. This opened up a world of questions. Do other Pokemon talk? Why has Pikachu never spoken until now? Is this even real, or was it Ash hallucinating since he was just in a massive explosion? Either way, people were immediately thrown off. But with that being said, once you get past the shock of Pikachu speaking, the reason Pikachu gives Ash for not wanting to get inside his Pokeball is pretty heartbreaking. Number 5. How Pokemon Go changed the world. Pokemon Go is one of the most successful mobile games of all time, breaking records like fastest to earn $100 million and most downloaded in its first month of release. To date, it has grossed over $3 billion in revenue, and it's been downloaded over 800 million times. Although no longer the global phenomenon it was in 2016, 2016, the game still remains incredibly popular. The app uses award-winning gameplay mechanics that use augmented reality technology, superimposing computer-generated information over your physical surroundings to put virtual creatures at real-world locations. Pokemon Go is the world's most important game. Thanks to its success, it will almost certainly influence the design of future AR experiences for years to come. But the game could also have a broader impact on society through its potential health benefits. One big benefit of playing Pokemon Go is that it exposes you to sunlight, which is required to make vitamin D. Several scientific studies have also shown that Pokemon Go increases physical activity. To find new and exciting Pokemon, you have to travel and explore the world that we live in. So there's also an educational benefit to playing the game. And finally, playing Pokemon Go can also create social opportunities through challenges called raids. A raid is where a boss temporarily takes over a gym. Powerful legendary raid bosses can only be beaten by about half a dozen players, making cooperation and coordination necessary. So that about sums up my list of 5 times Pokemon shocked the world. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, and hell, you can even subscribe to my channel. I upload multiple times a week covering all things Pokemon. Take care, my Pikachu warriors, and stay safe.